Listen, it thought it had you, but you got away. Let me say that again. I said, it thought it had you, but you got away. Now, you may say, what is it that I got away from, and what is it that thought they had me, right? I'm talking about, child of God, that situation that you used to deal with, right? That situation that you used to battle with, right? That situation that you thought would never end, you got away. You're no longer doing it. You're no longer in it. And I didn't say you ran away from it, because God don't give us the spirit of fear. I said you got away, meaning God stepped in and got you out, child of God. God stepped in and he got you out. He got you out. He got you out. That relationship that you was in, he got you out. You got out. You didn't run out. You got out, right? You got out. That thing you used to battle with and struggle with, that addiction, God got you out of that. You're no longer doing that. You're no longer indulging in that. Child of God, God got you out. And it thought it had you. Oh, but God got you out, child of God. God got you out. You know, you guys, I'm hearing that some of you guys, God is also trying to get out, right? He's trying to get you out of certain situations or certain relationships or certain things. But maybe you just not heeding, or you just not hearing, or you just, just not hearing what the Spirit of God, like you feel that nudge. I was talking the other day about the nudge, like the nudge of the Spirit. Like you could feel like God is telling you to leave that job, or leave that relationship, or leave that business, or get out of this thing. But it's kind of like you feel that nudge. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say God is trying to get you out of situations, right? And when I say God got you out, child of God, it's kind of like whatever you were in, that thing that you're no longer in, that you didn't think you would ever come out of, God got you out. God got you out. And I always say, you guys, that there is a divine way that God has to step into certain things, in certain relationships, in certain places that you are. Let's just say you're in a relationship, right? Let's just say you're in a relationship and this relationship is going so good. Like this relationship is just going so good. They loving on you, you getting all the attention you need, and just support and all of those things, and they love your family, and everything just looks good. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. But do you not know that God sees beginning from the end, right? So he knows what will happen if you stay in that relationship. So when this thing broke up, God got you out. He got you out. He got you out, right? He got you out. But it thought it had you, but you got away. Oh, yes, you got away from it, child of God. God helped you out of that, right? God helped you out of that. So yeah, you guys, just know that you get away from certain situations, and it's not so. And sometimes it'll happen in a way, you guys, where it may hurt you, right? Somebody may leave you, but God sees what's going to happen if you stay in that relationship, no matter how good it looks like it's going right now. So when sometimes things break up and you like, wow, what did I do? What happened? Why? Like when you love somebody and you can't figure out why it broke up or what happened. A lot of times that's God, you guys. Now, a lot of times that's God that breaks up certain relationships. Maybe this is not the ordained spouse for you, right? Maybe this is not the one God picked out for you. Now, I'm not talking about relationships where, you married and your husband cheating. I'm not talking about those relationships, but relationships that you are in, child of God, right? That the person just kind of broke up with you, Has that happened to anybody, right? So that's God getting you out, child of God. That's God getting you out. And like I just said, I'm hearing that someone God is trying to get out, right? I mean, he's telling you to leave something. Leave a job, or leave a friendship, or leave a business, or leave a relationship, right? Let me ask you this, right? What is that thing? How is it benefiting your life? How is this thing, right, benefiting your life? This thing that you are not getting away from, that God said he's trying to get you away from. And when I say God got you out, that means he stepped in. He did something to break it up, or he did something for you to get fired. Like, it's like God does those things, you guys. God does those things, right? Maybe it's something that's taking you off the path, right? But what is that thing bringing you? Is it bringing you joy, the person that you with, right? Is it bringing you joy? Is it bringing you stress? Is it bringing you like problems? Or how is it benefiting your life? Is it helping your spiritual life? Is it pulling you away from God, right? Because I'm speaking to somebody now that God is trying to get out of something. God is trying to get you out of something, but it's like you're not leaving, or you still indulging in it, right? It could be a sin. You see what I'm saying? It could be a relationship, but it's something that God wants to take you out of. It could be the place where you living at, but you don't want to move, but it's something that God is tugging on somebody to do. Like he's tugging on you to do this thing, and he's tugging on you because he wants to get you out. Many times we could be in situations, you guys, and those things, what they'll do is stagnate us, right? It'll keep us from moving forward, right? Because you're stuck in one place. And again, God is trying to get you out. And that's that thing in you that say, I should leave this job. I don't know why I'm here. That's God trying to get you out, right? And if you stay too long, it'll happen in a way, because if it's not the will of God, child of God, and you stay too long at that job, or you stay too long in that relationship, or you stay somewhere that God is trying to move you away from, it'll happen in a way where it may be painful, right? Because after a while, if you don't obey that nudge, and God will give you, like you'll feel like this thing is, I'm not even enjoying it no more. It's like something happened. In the beginning, it was all good. I don't know what happened. But God is trying to get you away, child of God. God is trying to get you away. He's trying to get you away from something, but you're not letting it go. You are not letting it go. And let me tell you this, you guys. When God wants to get us away from something, right, it's only to help us, right? You may think it's going to be painful, or it may even be painful. Sometimes we got to go through painful situations to move to our next level. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to let go of certain relationships to move to our next level. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to move to a whole nother place to move to our next level, to get to our next level, right? But there's something that you got to do, child of God. And I don't know who I'm speaking to, but as I'm bringing this word, I believe God is flashing before you right now that very thing that he's trying to get you out of, child of God. But it's like you're not leaving, or it's like you're not moving. But you feel that nudge of the spirit, right? You feel that thing in you that's saying, leave, get out. Like you feel that, and that's the Spirit of the Lord moving in that situation. He wants you to leave that job. He wants you to leave that relationship. He wants you to build up enough faith and move to a whole nother place, though you may not know anybody there. Are you hearing me? Sometimes God will move you across to a state that you don't even know, but you know God is telling you to do it. And then what'll happen, you guys, and see, the message is going off course, y'all. So when the message that I'm bringing, when it goes off course, that means God is speaking specifically into somebody else's situation. Whenever the message switch like that, right? So sometimes, you guys, God will tell you to move to a place, right? And you know God is telling you, but now here come logic, and this, you trying to understand why I gotta move here, and this don't make sense, and I don't know nobody there. God ain't telling me to move, but he is really telling you to move. But what happened, child of God, is the devil, he got in your mind and made you think that it was not God telling you to do that, because that's not going to make sense. Like, why would you move all the way here? That don't make sense. God ain't gonna tell you to do that. And what happens is now you get into a carnal state, or you get into a place of logical thinking, but not thinking that God is a supernatural God, and he does not operate in the natural like we do. Sometimes he's going to tell you things that are going to be painful. He's going to tell you to do those things. He's going to tell you sometimes to do a hard thing, child of God. It ain't going to be easy. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes he's going to tell you to do things. It's just not going to make any sense to your natural mind, right? But if you feel the nudge of the Holy, if you feel God pulling on you to leave something, or to move somewhere, or to do something, child of God, don't, delay and delay and delay and delay and delay. Just do it. Faith is, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I don't know what to expect, but God, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it because you told me to do it. I'm going to do it because it's in my spirit to do, right? I'm going to do it though it don't make sense. I'm going to do it though it's going to be a hard thing. I'm going to do it though I think I know the outcome of how this thing is going to end. It's going to end in embarrassment, God. Why would you do this to me? Why would you put me in front of all of these people? I don't know how to speak. I can't do that. I can't get that job. Lord, if I get that job, I don't really know what I'm doing. No, I'm just trying to take somebody to your next level. But you have to take a step of faith. You got to take a step of faith, you guys. Like I said, faith is, I'm telling you now, it's very scary sometimes. Like, it's very scary when you walk by faith a lot of times. Not all the time, but sometimes it's scary because we don't know what to expect. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what's next. We just follow in God's divine leading like this. And sometimes it may look like this is not a good idea, or it may look like God won't tell you to do that. Why would you? But then what you have to do, child of God, when you start thinking naturally, it's like that's going to make you disobey God because you thinking of it's not going to make sense, right? Why would I do that? You see what I'm saying? This is going to be hard. When you think like that, that's going to keep you from doing it. But you have to understand in your mind that God does not think like us. He doesn't think like us. God is a supernatural God. So he doesn't operate in the natural like we do. So sometimes he's going to tell you to do things that is going to be hard, right? So I don't know who I'm talking to, that God is trying to tell you something and it seems to be a hard thing. So you just not doing it. Where you at is just too comfortable, and God ain't gonna tell. No, yes, God will tell you to do something that's not gonna make sense. I'm telling you, he will. And you'll just be like, this don't make no sense. Why would you want me to do this? But again, think of it spiritually. You're not carnal like that. Think of it spiritually. God gonna tell you to do stuff. That's what faith is, child of God. That's what faith. And that's why the Bible say, without faith it's impossible to please God, right? It say that you must first believe that he is and that he rewards those who would diligently seek him. So it's kind of like if you can't go to God in prayer, if you don't have faith to believe that God is real, right? It says that you must believe that he is. So in order for you to come to a God that you don't believe that he is, you're never going to come to him because you don't have faith, because you can't see God. This is what I'm saying. This is something else that may not make sense to you. You can't see God. So is it like, okay, because I can't see it, I can't believe it? No, you need faith. You need faith to believe in a God that you cannot see. But if you really look, child of God, look at your life, look around your life, look at all the situations that you went through, look at all the things that God brought you out of, look at all the situations that should not have turned out the way that they did, but because God stepped in, it turned out in your favor, right? And you know that it happened in a way where you know that it was God, right? And when those situations happen like that, that helps us to believe that God is real. That helps us to know that God is really with me, right? When you survived that car accident that was so bad, survived that drug overdose, that alcohol poisoning, that time it was shooting, you didn't get hit. I'm just saying, right? You didn't die. That sickness didn't take you out of here. Though it should have, but because of the divine hand of God, right? It thought it had you, but God bought you out. He bought you out, child of God. When I say bought you out, he stepped in and turned the situation around, right? He stepped in and turned the situation around. So again, you guys, I don't know who this is for, but I don't know if y'all could tell how the message kind of switched a little bit. Like I started off talking about God got you out of certain situations, right? And that thing thought it had you, but God got you out. And then I started going into other stuff. So when that happens, you guys, you got to listen, because that part right there is like God is speaking directly to somebody, right? So you guys, it's going to take a step of faith. Again, like I said, faith is going to be so scary. It is. Sometimes it's going to be scary. And you don't think that you can do it, right? You don't think that you can do it. But God ain't going to tell you something to do that you cannot do. This is what I'm saying. You just got to do it by faith and trust God and know that God is going to come through. You see what I'm saying? God ain't going to tell you to do nothing. But again, you got to trust him, right? You got to trust him. Whatever that hard thing is that God is telling you to do, that thing that don't make sense, that thing that you don't want to do, that thing that's going to take your comfortability away, that thing that you think is going to make you get embarrassed, right there, child of God. You got to do it by faith. Scared, nervous, and afraid. You got to do it by